Hey guys, Bungie just gave us some new info about the mid-season D2 balance patch, and today I will give you the TLDR version so you can hopefully better understand the upcoming changes. First up, pulse rifle changes. High impact rifles are kinda too forgiving in their current state, which does make sense. Pulse rifles like the No Time to Explain and the Philo Tactic Spiral are really good and very free in PvP. Bungie is reducing the size of the auto-aim cone at 0 stat, which will affect pulse rifles with stat values on the lower end of the scale, which isn't to say that only low aim assist rifles will be affected by this change. The effectiveness of the nerf will just continue to be less effective as the aim assist value of the rifle gets higher. TLDR, yes, No Time to Explain will be affected by this nerf, but probably not by a ton. Next up, we got bows. Bungie openly acknowledges that lightweight frame bows feel like complete ass, although they say that in a much more professional tone. I gotta agree, basically I never use a lightweight frame bow ever because they feel pretty garbage to use, they're just not worth my time. Bungie does mention that they have more changes coming to all bows in Season 22, but for the mid-season patch, here is what we get for lightweight frame bows. Damage fall-off distance getting extended from 15 to 25 meters and bumping up the damage fall-off end distance from 20 to 45 meters, which is huge. On top of that, they will be bumping up the final accuracy by around 10%. I mean, call me crazy, y'all, but the Whistler's Whim, aka the Trials bow that we were all sad about because of how garbage it was, may actually be viable after the mid-season update. I mean that and every other lightweight frame bow out there, but I mainly care about the Whistler's Whim. It'll definitely no longer be ass trash with this current update, and it could be even better with another update, which I will cover later in this video. Moving on, SMG changes are minimal, which to be honest is a bit of a letdown. However, they did mention at the beginning of the article that more changes are coming in Season 22, and I'm kinda hoping that will include additional SMG changes, because again, what we got here is really not cutting it. Really, the only change we're getting is that they're going to continue to improve the fancy new reticle of Shira's Wrath to make it less visually distracting. By the way, if you have predictions for future SMG changes in Season 22, let me know what you think those will be down in the comment section. Moving on to shotguns. The new pellet spread pattern of lightweight shotties are kinda counterintuitive and not that great, so Bungie is shortening the spread angle of the outer horizontal pellets by 15%, meaning it'll be more likely that all of your pellets will connect with a target at close mid-range. And that change actually does sound pretty good to me. Go ahead and check your vault for the Reese Walker, the Wastelander, and the Without Remorse. 3 lightweight shotguns that are already kinda sick in PvP and are going to become even better with this change. And a quick reminder, 2 of those weapons are craftable, by the way, so if you have a crafted Wastelander or a Remorse that you haven't used in a while, get ready to dust that bad boy off and bring it back into PvP. And now, exotic changes, starting with big shocker, Graviton Lance, which they want to cool down a little bit in PvP, but help out in PvE. I love Mercules, by the way, but the Bungie weapons team may have lost their goddamned minds with this change because they're giving a 67% damage buff to Graviton in PvE. 67%, which, by the way, why not just bump it up 2 more for the memes? But yeah, be very prepared to rock a Void Graviton build in PvE really soon if you aren't already, especially considering we got a lot of fun Void toys currently in the artifact. Graviton's Voidy explosion is getting reduced by 40% in PvP, by the way, and they are removing the extra aim assist given by the catalyst. TLDR, way less hot in PvP, way more hot in PvE. No Time to Explain, again, is pretty damn good, and they are reducing the overall range value by 10. That does kind of hurt because I do love the gun, but I completely get it. Way too strong for its own good. And remember, it'll get lightly touched from the previously mentioned pulse rifle nerf as well, so viability on No Time to Explain going a wee bit down in the near future. The old Fightin' Lion is getting the bug fixed that was preventing it from getting the benefits of its own catalyst, lol. I'm sure Cammy Cakes is doing backflips down in Florida somewhere with that change. Perk-wise, Gut Shot Straight and Slick Draw are both getting their penalties reduced a little bit because right now the drawbacks are so harsh that people don't really want to use the perks, and I can't blame them. Gut Shot is getting the auto aim penalty cut back by 37.5%, and Slick Draw getting its penalty drawn back by 33%. I still don't know if that'll be tempting enough for me to use either perk. Auto aim is uber important to landing shots, so any penalty to that stat at all, no matter how tiny it is kind of annoying and counterintuitive. But I guess we shall see. More on that when the changes go live. Target lock is getting kicked in the gooch, but in PvP only. Apparently, certain weapons, cough cough, are just too darn good with that perk, and it is ruining things for everybody. About damn time. Glad to hear that they're not touching it in PvE, by the way, so we can continue to abuse our crafted retrofit escapades a little bit longer. Now we get to the part of the Bungie article where many players are going to have their eyes glaze over and they're going to start to drool a little bit, because they go on to talk about the big changes coming next season to both range and zoom. Bungie promises to give more details closer to season 22, but provided the following chart in the meantime to give a better idea of how damage fall-off values are going to be changing in season 22. Remember, they're making these big changes because in a nutshell, they realized that zoom basically needed to get reworked overall, as it's really vital and important on certain weapons in the game to the part where it was just becoming really very strong. Also keep in mind that rangefinder is getting reworked in season 22, again because of the changes to zoom. In the future, if you didn't know, rangefinder is losing the damage fall off increase, which will definitely change how the perk is going to feel overall. Bungie quickly does mention, by the way, that they've hand-tuned a small list of exotics and all special weapons with the intention of keeping them where they are currently in the game and have them protected from the following changes outlined on this chart. Sidearms are seemingly getting a good deal with this change, as their new fall off distance is going to be pretty close to current values with rangefinder. SMGs are getting their ceiling pulled in a little bit, but it'll be better than current non-rangefinder SMGs. Auto rifles are getting bumped up significantly, which I find really interesting. Gonna be curious as to how rangy autos feel going into season 22. I'm not on high alert yet, more like an orange or bright neon yellow alert. Hand cannons are going to at least be better than current non-rangefinder versions, but yeah, ceiling number lowered overall. Same thing for pulse rifles and aggressive hand cannons. Season 22 bow numbers are going to be identical to what they are now without rangefinder, same thing for scout rifles. Looking ahead to season 22, Bungie previews a PvE hand cannon buff, which should be nice because I have no reason at all to use hand cannons in PvE right now. Sword guarding is apparently getting a big rework. Many exotics are going to be tuned, including the long-awaited nerfing of Problem Child Le Monarch and some big buffs to Touch of Malice. Finally, some buffs to weapon perks, including Bipod, Envious Assassin, and Under Over. I'm kind of shocked that Envious Assassin is on the list to get buffed. Not that I'm complaining, but I definitely don't see it as a, quote, bad perk right now. Let me know down in the comment section how y'all are feeling about these changes overall. Happy? Sad? Indifferent? Playing Diablo 4, Lamau? Would love to hear from you. I'll try to get my hands on these changes as soon as I can when the mid-season patch goes live. Remember to drop a like on today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.